Let's go ahead and create a table in a database wherein the warehouse directory would be S3 location. So I have logged out from the previous session. Now if I log in again with a new session, you'll see that the warehouse directory location has been set back to the previous one, which is user Hive warehouse. So as you can see, even though I changed it to S3 in the previous session, I logged out and I logged back in the new session. The setup has been changed. So if you want to set it up permanently, we'll have to change it in Hive side XML, which is not available in EMR. So in EMR, we'll have to configure a JSON file, which I'll show you later on. Let me go ahead and set Hive Metastore warehouse directory to an S3 location. I have created this folder Hive warehouse directory, and I'll copy this S3 URI. And now if I look back, the warehouse directory has been set to the S3 location. Let me go ahead and create a database named HiveDB. This should be created in that particular folder, Hive warehouse directory. So if I refresh, the metadata has been created. Now I'll go ahead and create a table inside of this database. This is the table that I'm going to create, cart sales data. This is the schema or the structure of the table, and after that I have few other keywords also. The first thing is that row format has been mentioned as delimited. The reason is that I'll be loading this table from a CSV file. So CSV file has to be stored as text file, but the row format has to be delimited if you want to use the native serde. If you do not want to use native serde, then you'll have to mention the custom serde here. One more thing that you have to mention is the fields terminated by, because as it is a CSV file, each fields are separated by comma, and TSV files or tab separated values are also stored as text file. So in that case, fields terminated by should be mentioned as tab. Now Hive has to know how the fields are terminated in this case. As it is CSV, I have mentioned comma. And finally, I have mentioned stored as text file because I'll be loading this table from a CSV file. So that's why it is a text file. Now if I go to the folder again and do a refresh, so if you see hivedb1.db has been created, and there should be a metadata folder, S3 metadata folder for cart sales data. Now what I'll do is I'll load this particular table from a CSV file. Remember one thing, that while loading table from a file, Hive does not do any conversion. It does not do any transformation. So it just copies the file from one location to another. And I have this file cartsalesdata.csv in the primary nodes directory. So as you can see, I have this cartsalesdata.csv in /home/hadoop directory. So it is in the local machine, not in HDFS. So what I'll have to do is that I'll have to mention this load data local command and the location of the file and into the table cart sales data. I'll cover load data separately later on, but as of now, let me just go ahead and load this table, which is a managed table, by the way, because I have used create table statement, not create external table. What this load data would do, it would copy the CSV file from this location, which is /home/hadoop/cart sales data CSV, to the S3 folder where this particular table has been created. Now the load is really very fast. If I go to the location of S3, press refresh. If you see cart sales data folder has been created, click on it and we can see that CSV file. So what load command did, it copied this CSV file from the primary nodes /home/hadoop folder to S3. That's all it did. It just copied the file from one location to another, nothing else. It did not do any transformation. Let me go ahead and select a few rows from this particular table. I should be able to see the values. As you can see, table has been loaded. So it is essentially reading for the CSV file which is there in the S3 folder. Now let me go ahead and create the same managed table using Parquet format and load using the CSV file. I'll remove all these row format, serde and everything, because if I mention stored as Parquet, it will use the native serde command. Obviously, I'll have to change the name of the table. I cannot have two tables with the same name. I'll mention it as Parquet. It has been created. I should be able to see the same in the S3 folder. In Hive db1.db, I have another metadata S3 folder named card sales data Parquet. Let me go ahead and try to load the same data. What I want to show you here is that if you load a CSV file to a table which has been created with Parquet storage format, you'll not be able to see any data, because load data is essentially a copy of file from one location to another. So I have loaded the data. Let me go ahead and see the S3 folder. Sorry, I should have, let me load it to the Parquet table. Sorry, I did not load it in Parquet. Refresh this and you can see card sales data Parquet has been created. But if I click and open, the file is still CSV. It is not a Parquet file. So that means the load data did not do any transformation. Now if I try to select records, let me clear the screen. Now if I try to select from card sales data Parquet, it gives you error. It tells you that this particular file is not a Parquet file, so it has to be a Parquet file. So of course this table is useless. I'll go ahead and delete or drop this table. Let us go ahead and create some external tables now. But before that, what I'll do, I'll copy this card sales data file from the local directory in my primary node to an HDFS directory. So if you see, I'm using this HDFS DFS copy from local command to copy it from the local directory to the HDFS directory. And in the HDFS directory, I already have this sample data created. This is my HDFS list wherein I have sample data created, and this is my local directory where I have card sales data CSV. I'm copying these card sales data from my local directory to HDFS directory so that I can create an external table. The copy is done. If I do an ls now, I should be able to see the card sales data in my HDFS directory / sample data. Now let us go ahead and create the external table. So I'll be creating this external table in Hive db1. If you remember, I had created Hive db1 in S3. So this is the external table, card sales data underscore external. This is the name, and the structure is exactly the same. Nothing changes. The row format is delimited, fields terminated by comma, and stored as text file are exactly the same as that of a managed table. The additional keyword that you see here is the location followed by the directory where the file is present. So if you see, I have just mentioned the directory, not the location of the file or not the file itself. So if I press enter, the table has been created. I'm using the same select statement, select star from card sales data external, and I am able to see the data which is there in the file. So this is an external table wherein the metadata has been created by Hive, but the file is stored somewhere else. So essentially the table is pointing to a file which is stored in HDFS. It is not doing any copy, unlike load. It is just pointing to the CSV file which is there in / sample data. Let us go ahead and do the same in case of S3 also. In S3, inside of DEMR bucket, I have this sample datasets folder. So inside of sample datasets folder, I have card sales data folder, inside of which I have this card sales data CSV file. What I'll do now is that I'll be creating an external table which will point to this particular CSV file. Obviously, I'll have to copy the folder URI. Everything remains the same. Create external table. The name of the table is a little different. It is underscore external underscore S3. The structure is same. We have the row format delimited, fields terminated by comma and stored as text file. Now here the location is an S3 folder location. Notice that I am not giving any file path. So the file is inside of this folder. So I'll have to give the folder name only. Just like HDFS wherein I did not mention the CSV file, I just mentioned the folder. Same thing is done here. The CSV file is not mentioned. I'm just mentioning the folder where the file is there. So it has been created. Let me try to select data from history. As you can see, it is showing the exact same data. So what we have done, we have created two external tables. One is pointing to the card sales CSV file in HDFS location, and the other table is pointing to the card sales CSV file in S3 location. Now the question is, how do you see the details of a particular table or a database? Let me show you the database. You mentioned describe database HiveDB1, so it will give you the details of the database. So what it shows is the name of the database is HiveDB1 and the location is S3DAMR Hive warehouse directory, and inside of that we have this folder. You can also mention a keyword extended to get the extended information. In this case, in case of database, it will be showing you the same information. We can get this information for table also. Currently we have 3 tables. Let me go ahead and describe on all these tables. Let me go ahead and run describe command on all these 3 tables. The first one is describe card sales data. So it is just showing you the structure or the schema of card sales data. If you want more information, you have to insert the extended keyword. Describe extended card sales data would give you further information. For example, here is the detailed table information. If you see, the table type is mentioned as managed table here. If I describe card sales data external, it is telling me that the table type is an external table and this is the location. So it is stored in HDFS in /sample data. Similarly, if I type for S3, the table type is external and the location is S3. Now the question is where the metadata is being stored. I have created database, I have created tables, I have dropped tables, etc. Where do I find the metadata of this table? If you remember, while creating the EMR cluster, I had mentioned that the Hive metadata should be stored in AWS Glue catalog. So let us go ahead and see the metadata of these Hive objects, which has been stored in Glue catalog. I am in the Glue console here. This is the landing page if you open Glue. So there are multiple options available. I'll not go and talk about multiple options. The only thing that I want to talk about is the data catalog here. So if you click on data catalog, it will show you the databases and tables. Click on databases, I should be able to see the databases that we have created. So if you see, I have this default database, HiveDB1 and test. These are the 3 databases that we had created. If you go to the Hive command line and type show databases, you have default HiveDB1 and test database. These are the 3 databases and that's what it is showing. So the default database is located in the Hive user Hive warehouse which is the Hive warehouse directory, and we created HiveDB1 by changing the Hive warehouse directory to S3, and that's what it is showing you, that HiveDB1 is in S3 location. So it was automatically added the moment we created this database. Similarly, we had created testDB also, and the metadata has been created here with the location as S3 databases testDB. Let me go ahead and drop this test database. Okay, database test is not empty. Seems like there are some tables. I have dropped the table and now I'll drop the database test, and the moment I drop it, it should be deleted from the Glue catalog also. If I do a refresh, the test database is not there anymore. Let me go ahead and create Hive database 2, where in the Hive warehouse directory would be S3, and let me go ahead and create a database now. The moment I create this database, it should appear in the Glue catalog. Click on refresh and I can see HiveDB2, which has the same warehouse directory as that of HiveDB1, but the database is different. Obviously, if I go to S3, in the Hive warehouse directory folder, I should be able to see HiveDB2 DB folder getting created. As I have not created any objects inside of this database, that's why I do not see HiveDB2.db. The moment I create a table, it will be automatically created. Let me go ahead and show you that. And now HiveDB2.db folder should appear, and I have not inserted any data. Now let me go ahead and see how Glue behaves in this case. So HiveDB2 has been created. This is the databases only. Now let us go ahead and take a look at the tables catalog. So if I click on tables, it will show you all the tables that we have created so far, and also the location of those particular tables. So we have 4 tables: card sales data, which is in HiveDB1 database, and then card sales data external, card sales data external S3. All these three are in Hive DB1 database. Test table is in Hive DB2. It also shows you the location of the data. So this is a managed table and the location is this particular folder in S3. For car sales data external S3, this is the location, and for car sales data external, this is the location. If I click on this particular table in the glue catalog, it will show me further more information that okay, this is the table, this is the location of the table, this is the database, these are the input formats and output formats, and the serialization, and also the schema of that particular table. Whether we have any partitions or indexes created on this table, those things would also be shown. In the advanced properties, it will show you some more information like total size, which can be useful for you. Similarly, if you go to card sales data too, it will show us the same information as that of external table. So whatever we have been creating in this particular Hive cluster, like databases, tables, etc., the metadata of all those objects are being stored in glue catalog. Let me drop the table, test table, and it should be gone from glue catalog as well. If I refresh, the test TBL should not be there anymore. So as you can see, it has been removed from catalog. Similarly, if I drop HiveDB2 database, it will be gone from glue catalog as well. That's all about Hive tables and external tables and databases. In the next video, I'm going to talk about Hive table partitions.